I got them troopers placed all around that hill there. He ain't about to sneak out on us.
Oh, we can't rush him. I got orders to take him alive.
What are you going to do then?
I'm very interested, too, Captain Richards. What are you going to do?
Well, you can't stay in there forever, Mr. Graham. He's got to come out sometime.
When he does, I advise you to treat him as you would any prisoner of war. Extend the same consideration, even though he is just a poor, half-naked redskin.
He ain't no poor, half-naked redskin. He's a dirty, red-handed butcher.
That's your opinion. Now, I'm here to see he gets humane treatment and a fair hearing. Or else my newspaper will blast all of you clear across this nation.
What do you think?
I think he's out of ammunition.
Oh?
Otherwise, those 2 men would be dead.
That's for sure.
It could be a trick.
No, I don't think so. I'm going to take a couple of your men and bring them back.
Hold on. I can't afford to have him beaten or manhandled.
Sounds to me like you're worried about that newspaper man.
That's right. He demanded to come out here. He's positive the Army is killing Indians left and right when no one's looking. He's waiting for a chance to pin something on us.
Well, I'm not the Army. If you won't give me the men, I'll go alone.
Mr. Lane! Mr. Lane, come back here! That's an order!
Is that man Hondo, Lane?
That's right.
Well, that's how you managed to track down the Apache Kid, huh? You hired his friend. Man who knows him like a brother to track him, and then you bushwhacked him. That man's another Judas. Oh, let's go.
Come on out, kid. Nobody's gonna shoot.
Liar!
It's all over, kid.
Are you proud of yourself, Lane? Leading a whole troop of heavily armed soldiers to capture one poor, helpless little Indian?
Mister, when was the first time you ever saw an Indian?
First time, 3 months ago. Young Indian boy in Texas. They said he stole a gun. They hung him without a hearing. The next day, they found out he was innocent. When I heard the Army was hunting this man, I came to see him get justice, and I'll see he gets it.
You'll get a fair trial, Mr. Graham.
Well, that'll be the first fair thing I've seen in his case. They say you were one of the few white men he ever trusted. Is that all it means to you? A shrug? No words, no feeling for a lifelong friend?
Ask the kid that. It didn't have to be this way. It's the way he wanted it.
You tracked him down and flushed him out like an animal. Lou, get a picture of the Apache kid. We'll run it under the heading, Man's Inhumanity to Man.
Hold it. Hold it. You're wrong about this Indian, Mr. Graham. You and your stories making him out to be a storybook hero.
That may be fiction to you, but it's fact to me and thousands of readers. Now move aside, Captain. Or you'll get your name in the headlines as the officer who denied freedom to the press. When I write you up in this story, Lane, you'll wish you never heard of the Apache Kid.
Hey, that is a mighty important prisoner you got inside there, Sarge. Look at that.
Yeah. If that newspaper fella keeps writing about him, I'm gonna start believing it myself. Hey, listen to this. Is the Apache Kid dead or alive?
Huh. He looks alive to me.
Has he been starved, tortured, murdered?
Fat and sassy.
If not, why can't he be seen so the rest of the nation can hear his side of the story?
I can see him as just as plain as a wart on the end of a pretty girl's nose. Hey, kid, what is your side of the story, huh? No talk. Well, he'll probably feel more like speaking at the time of the trial. Just before they use him to trim a tree with. Well, you better take good care of your starboarders.
Detail! Open the gate!
Another courier from Fort Whipple. Must be urgent business from Colonel Crook.
Yeah, about that more than likely. You know, the ruckus that Graham fella's stirring up trying to get to chew the fat with the Apache Kid. If I was the old man, I'd lock them both up in the same cell till the day of the trial.
Good idea.
That is a good idea. You put them both in the same cell, then they'd have to talk to one another.
I'm sorry, Mr. Lane. I got orders from Colonel Crook to cooperate with Mr. Graham until the circuit judge arrives to try the Apache Kid.
I'm going to see Graham right now and set him straight.
He's a big reporter, Mr. Lane. Carries a lot of influence in a lot of high places. Thousands of people read what he writes.
Dime novel garbage, that's what he writes.
Maybe. Maybe it is, but it's one way to sell a lot of newspapers. Find an underdog the American public can feel sorry for. Well, he hit a gold mine with this one. Overnight, he made the Apache Kid a national hero. And look at these. Look at these. Protests from do-gooders, societies to protect the Indian, other newspapers hopping on the bandwagon, and a lot of nasty letters to President Grant himself.
Why don't you throw him out of here?
Because he's too important to throw out. He's too important to push around at all. Ace reporter for the Civil War, covered the Ohio flood disaster, champion of the coal miners of Pennsylvania, the mill workers in New England. Well, this time he's wrong. Dead wrong. The Apache Kid is a bad Indian, that's all.
Well, nothing worse than a bad Indian, except maybe a bad white man.
I gave Mr. Graham permission to interview the Apache Kid in jail.
I'd like to interview him for just 5 minutes.
Well, if you lay a hand on him, I'm gonna have to lock you up.
Friendship and loyalty. Now, those are the key words we'll use to arouse the nation in your behalf.
Hey, Hondo. Where you going?
Guardhouse.
You didn't bounce your fist off the captain's jaw, too, did you?
I'll pay a little visit to Graham and the Apache Kid.
Well, I'll just mosey on in with you, then. It ain't every day a fella can walk into jail and ride out again.
Hondo Lane was once your very close friend. Is that so? Now, you once worked as a scout for the Army. Now, Lane has the job you should have. Naturally, he wants to discredit you, right? Oh, the Army made a big mistake in firing you. Now, they'd like you out of the way, out of the record. Now, that's the real story, isn't it? Oh, I am going to write story after story about the Apache Kid. Telling the world who you are, what you're really like, and why you must go free. So you can rejoin your people and lead them in their desperate struggle to survive against the white man's prejudice and intolerance and treachery.
That's the way it is, kid? Graham, I'm here to get you to stop bleeding for a man that's no good.
No good because he's an Indian?
There are a lot of Indians who've been cheated, tricked, and kicked around by the whites. They could use your help. But the Apache Kid is not one of them.
I'm supposed to take your word.
Try taking my word, mister. Or, maybe the kid's word here, huh? How about it, kid? Who kept you from starving? Who raised you and taught you how to scout? Who treated you and Hondo like you was both his sons? Come on, kid. You can recollect that white man's name, can't you? Al Sieber? Just about the best scout and the best human being that ever hit the West. Ain't that right, Hondo?
Al taught us everything we know about scouting.
And didn't he even get you a job with the Army, tracking? At more money than you ever figured to see in the rest of your life.
And the first little mistake he made, the Army fired him.
The little mistake he made, mister, was stealing rifles and horses. Graham, that's what your real Apache Kid is.
Apache Kid. Look at him. He's hardly more than that. A kid.
He was the run of the litter. And he's been trying to make up for his size ever since by robbing, cheating, murdering women, children. But he hasn't grown another inch.
Lies. I'd expect lies from the man who put you in that cell. And he'll keep lying till you're tried and convicted. To justify his part in capturing you.
Graham, you've got wool between your ears.
Forget him, kid, now. Look at this. Look at that. That is what the whole country is gonna see. Now, by the time you go to trial, I'll have thousands of people from every state and territory in the Union supporting you. My paper's gonna hire the best lawyers in the country to defend you. Now, they'll set you free. You have my word. Thank you, guard. Thanks very much.
Out for a little fresh air, Jinx?
You had him and you let him go. I rode 3 days to get back here for his trial. And now all I'm gonna get is another barrage of directives from Washington.
We'll get him back. Dead or alive, we'll get him back.
And while you're at it, Captain, would you mind bringing him back on that horse he stole from you?
Yes, sir.
Well, now, this fella Graham, he can't say that we mistreated the Apache kid now, can he? We only gave him free room and board, let him walk out of here, and gave him an army horse to do it on.
At least Graham can see what the Apache kid is now. He attacked 3 guards, killed 1.
He'll say they were torturing him to death or something like that.
Well, unless we spike his guns, the stories will get worse. So from now on, the Army stays out of it. Hondo, I'm sending you after the kid alone. I want you to bring him back here for that fair trial Graham's been yelling about, and this time we'll invite reporters from all over the country to sit in. Agreed? Agreed?
Agreed.
I'll go along with you, Hondo.
No, Buffalo. I need you to ride back to Fort Whipple with me. I think you better go to Vittorio and ask him to cooperate with us in bringing this wild man in.
I'll ask him that.
Hondo. Good luck.
I hear you're going after the Apache kid again, huh?
That's right.
Alone?
That's right.
I don't believe that for a minute. Crook and Richards have probably got 100 men scattered out there, just waiting to fill the kid full of holes as soon as you flush them out. Lou, get a shot of him. I want the whole country to get a good look at the new Judas. Don't worry, Lou. The 10,000 words I'm gonna write about him will be worth more than one picture.
Kid is an outlaw to me as well as to you, my son. But I cannot help you bring him to white man's justice.
He does as much damage to your people as he does to the white man.
Yes, he strikes at us too. But if I send my braves into white man's territory to hunt him down, shots will be fired.
I know all Indians look the same to some white men.
One mistake, and open warfare could spread like prairie fire.
Well, a kid could start that fire all by himself.
Running Wolf, son of Gordon, has chosen Starbird to be his bride. Will you stay for the feast?
Reminds me of another wedding a long time ago.
I remember it well also, my son. You and the starting.
Well, the kid's had a good start. I guess I better make camp somewhere and pick up his trail in the morning.
Be careful. You may not wish to shoot to kill, but the Apache kid knows no other way. It is time, my children. Go to the huts where your fathers wait for you and say your farewells. At dawn, you will ride out of here as man and wife with all our blessings. Go, my children.
Makes sense, Sam. I think I found the Apache kid's trail, but it don't make sense. It's moccasin tracks running alongside of an army horse, followed by an Indian pony.
Last night, Running Wolf's bride was taken from the village. Her father murdered by the Apache kid.
You sure about that?
The sign of the cougar, which the Apache kid wore around his neck, was found in the ceremonial hut.
Well, that explains the moccasin tracks. What about the Indian pony?
By the laws of our tribe, Running Wolf must seek revenge alone. He left before the sun rose to pick up the trail.
Well, looks like he'll get there before I do.
If he does, one or both of them will be killed.
Well, it'll be Running Wolf. He's no match for the kid.
That's why I come to you.
You must find the Apache kid before Running Wolf does.
I'll do my best. Shut up, Sam. Get some sleep. nothing more is gonna happen.
Daddy! 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 An Indian killed my daddy.
Where's your mother?
Out there. She died a year ago. Daddy buried her over there.
The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Sam, I guess we're going to have to pick up that trail later. Jimmy Joe? I got to ride you back to the fort where folks can take care of you.
Mr. and Mrs. Keene are going to take Emmy Joe. And they have 7 children. They said they wouldn't even notice one more.
Thanks, Angie.
You're not going right back out, are you?
I lost a lot of time and I got a job to do.
But it's so unfair, making you alone responsible for bringing back the Apache kid.
Not a question of what's fair, only of what's best.
I can have an early supper if you...
Suzanne? Captain Richards wants to see you. Right away.
Well, I'll take you up on that supper one of these days. See you later, Johnny. Emmy Joe. You take care of her.
I will, Emrado.
Goodbye.
Bye, Emrado. So long.
Any time getting the story to his newspaper about the Apache kid's escape. And you got permission from Colonel Crook to send the story over the wire at Fort Whipple.
Captain, the longer I stand here and talk to you, the harder it is going to be to pick up that trail.
I'm getting fed up with advice and criticism on what to do and what not to do about the Apache kid.
No, not half as fed up as I am trying to track him down.
If I had my way, he'd been dead a long time ago.
Well, it's still not the right way.
My career is on the line. My whole career is at stake. If you think the politicians and brass are sniping now, wait till they read Graham's latest story. One lone Indian pitted against 1,000 armed troopers. Hunted down like a wild animal and forced to act like one. Hounded to the point of insanity.
You ought to tell Graham the Apache kid just murdered 2 of his own people, captured another one, and made an orphan of a helpless little girl.
I would. I'd tell him, except right now he's out looking for the Apache kid himself.
Well, that's good. Maybe you'll find him. At least he's out of the fort. Save us a lot of trouble.
He doesn't stand a chance. He left the day after you did, hired a couple of no-good Indians to guide him for $20.
Well, that sounds like Joe Goose and Half Moon.
That's right.
They'd sell him for 20 cents, and that'd be a poor buy.
I told him that. I begged with him. I pleaded with him, but he wouldn't listen. As soon as he got word from his newspaper they were hiring the best lawyers, he wanted the Apache kid to see the telegram. Proof that he had powerful supporters behind him.
Apache kid can't even read.
I told him that. But Graham thinks he's the only man in the territory the Apache kid will trust and voluntarily give himself up to. That's why you're here.
Yeah, I know. Find Graham and the Apache kid and save both their worthless hides.
Exactly.
Why are we stopping? Right. The Apache Kid?
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe? Are we getting close?
Too
Now, what does that mean?
Catalina's. Apache Kid's old stomping ground. He always comes back here. This is as far as we go. You pay now.
I promised you $20 when you find the kid.
The kid is over there. You pay now.
Yes. Well, now, look. Look, I'll double your fee. Get me the kid, and I'll pay you $40, huh?
We quit now. Apache Kid too close.
But, hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What do you think you're... Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. Good riddance, you thieving bum! I'll find the Apache Kid myself! Who are you? Who did this to you? Can't you speak English?
No, kid. You won't shoot me, then you can't. I kill! I kill!
She's dead.
You could have killed him, and you didn't. Just because you gave your word. I still don't believe it. I just can't understand.
Don't even try, Graham.
Hi, kids. Sam got some kind of a problem, has he?
We're just turning for ticks.
Ticks? That don't hardly seem like no fitting occupation for a pretty young lady.
She's not a pretty young lady. Maybe Joe's about as good as a boy. She don't mind bugs at all.
She don't? Hey, Emmy Joe, I hear you got a whole new slew of brothers and sisters.
Yeah, and my new mommy's in the store right now buying me a yellow dress.
A yellow dress? Oh, I bet that's pretty. Would you wear it if I take you to the dance?
Sure, Uncle Buffalo.
Uncle? Oh.
Aw, let's hunt ticks.
Hondo! Wait up a minute. I never did get a chance to thank you properly for saving my life.
It's not necessary.
I'm very grateful. I know I can't ever completely repay a debt like that, but I've tried to show my gratitude in a small way.
Forget it.
I've written you up for my paper. Great story. Hondo Lane, man of incredible honesty and fair play, with the courage of a mountain lion. The lone American, hunting down a vicious savage.
Don't print it.
I insist.
You won't change your mind?
No, sir. I owe you a great debt.
Debt's canceled.